Hello, my name is Luka Baranovic. I come from Croatia Telekom, and today we're going to talk about designing human experiences in telecom. Thank you very much for having me here. Today, we've seen the results, we've seen of the survey, we've seen what actually telecoms are doing, and basically, what you could see today was, of course, network and technology was one primary cause of dissatisfaction, but also the products and the services. And what today I'm going to talk about is that services need to be looked from a different perspective, because if you start to design things for the customers only and not for humans, trust me, you will not get to the top, and we as an industry will not move too much. So basically, what I would like to share you a different kind of different view on the customer experience. So first of all, to introduce myself, I'm Director of Customer Experience Management in Croatia Telekom. I'm managing the department of approximately 300 people. It's about experience design, service design, some parts of the contact center, complaints, project managers, and journey managers. And what I can say, the last 2 years with my fantastic team, it was a real journey in learning and transforming and really working within the whole Croatia Telekom. We're part of the Deutsche Telekom group. All right, so first of all, what I would like to talk about today is the emotional part, all right? So we all say that we are all rational people, that we are all logical and rational, but in fact, our decisions, our behavior is not so rational. And this is, you can read about it, the behavioral economics, the cognitive psychology, it's all the movements that, you can read about it everywhere. And today I would like to show you a little bit how it works in the telecom, because it's a very important piece and it works. So, first of all, the services. What we do is that when we design services we create event, all right? With any event, interaction, whatever it is, there is always emotion on the customer side, always there. And emotions trigger behavior, all right? And this behavior is actually that comes to the impact of you. And this impact is something that you can benefit from, or you can suffer from it, from the cost side, right? And if you not put it, and that's why what Mark just said about the products and services and the quality. I would like to re-examine the whole thing and ask what the quality is. Is it the quality that is not working, or is it quality that is not working like it's supposed to be? How I'm expecting it to work. It's a big difference. So these emotions and these behaviors are really impacting the business. And let me give you one example first. Non-telco, so we can all relate to it, all right? It was a postal courier service in US, where actually they were experiencing a large quantity of calls to contact center. Everybody was just asking, hey, where is my package? Where is my package? They were all puzzled, why the hell they're calling to the contact center, because they have the mobile application to track packages, they get online, you can do it, it's easy, but no, everybody's calling, all right? So they launched internal investigation, and first guess was, we need to educate people. Obviously, they do not know about, our mobile and our online solution. At the last minute, somebody stopped and asked, okay, let's investigate what it is. After investigation, they realized actually it was not that they're not educated, but it's a consequence of how service is performed. When a person comes into the office to leave the package, the agent takes the package and puts the package on a big pile behind it. You know what happened on the customer side? Concerns right up, subconscious concerns. Oh no, they're going to lose it. It will never reach. Something will happen to it. And basically, this whole amount of calls were actually people trying to get a human, comprehension, and human says to him, everything is okay with your package. That was happening on the subconscious level, all right? So what they did, they rearranged a little bit the places, So basically, the agents, when they took the package, they put some wall with holes, and they put it, through the holes. So basically, the same pile was behind the wall. 40% of the calls down. So this is what I'm talking about. When we say quality of service, it's the itch, that people have when they service. So maybe you will even create a very functional, service, but it's not, human-wise, it's not that good. So the idea is that we need to rethink these kind of things a little bit from a different perspective. All right, and now let's move it to telecom, because we all hear about it. I'll give you an example in telecom, how it works, how emotions are important. Dunning and collections, the most emotional part in your life cycle, customer life cycle, right? So the switching off of the customers. So if I ask you, what is the emotion when you switch off the customer? What the answer would be? What is emotion? What is behavior? Right? Emotion, anger. You switch me off, right? And what is the behavior behind this anger? They immediately pick up the phone and start, or online or phone. And the problem is these calls last because this anger, it's actually a positive emotion for a person. You feel alive, you vent out, and these calls last. It's a killer. All right? And let's move it to a different industry. Credit card. What's happening when they're switching off the customers? What kind of emotion is it? Madam, it's been rejected. It's shame, right? And intensity of the shame, it just depends how out loud did I say or how the queue build up behind you, right? And what is the reaction of the shame person? Does he pick up the phone and yells? No, run and hide, right? So, these examples is just, to demonstrate, how much impact you have and how much in the things. And you have seen how much investment in Mark's presentation, how much investment is going into technology. And this part is somehow left behind, right? So what we actually did in Croatia Telekom, we started looking at these kind of events, looking for the emotions and design for the emotions. The particular Dunning case, we managed to reduce for 30% people that we switch off, monthly. 30% less. We didn't change technology. We didn't do anything special. We just designed to provoke specific emotions, right? So that's actually how important it is, and that's how much impact does it have. Good. So it's working. But telcos are not the best of it, right? And if you want to learn about all of this, go to the people who know about it, all right? And go to the industry that knows. So when I first became director of customer experience, my first action was pick up the phone and call this guy. He's Dino Galvano. He's a chef, well-known chef in our country. And I asked him for a glass of wine and piece of advice. Can you please tell me how do you go to the market and buy something for 20 units, monetary units? You sell it for 500, and everybody's excited about it. Teach me that. I said, okay. And basically, we spent a great night. And guess what? We didn't talk about the techniques. We didn't talk about the tools. We didn't talk about, the ovens, the tables, the chairs, nothing of that. We talked about people, about the humans, about the emotions, how to provoke them, and how to set it up. And basically was, look, if you figure this all out, then put everything, align everything you have behind it. So good, thank you. You really helped me because now I have a really high, I have an abstract task to do. And basically, his main sentence out of that evening was this one. The experience part, it's all about, structuring valuable and emotional details, get them to work in harmony every time. That's it. As simple as that. Good. So I thought, okay, if they can do it, so we can as well. So basically, what my question was, how come they know it, and we as a telco industry, we are not good at it? And basically, it's the level of the separation, right? It's the level of separation. If somebody is a chef, if somebody is a small business, we as human beings, we have this emotional part inside of us. We know how to interact. We have this built in by nature, right? This is by evolution inside. But when you get so many pieces, you're here, then let's start from the customer. Customer is there. They're using some of the devices over the network, and they want integration over the system. The system produces data, and use some visualization, and there you are, all right? Great. No emotions whatsoever. And what happens is that everybody on the way, you have different departments, right? And everybody in there also don't see the customer. They don't see the relation. So they also assume, they rationalize. And sometimes maybe they rationalize in the wrong direction. And what you get at the end is the experience that the telcos are providing. So, so this level of separation requires that somebody puts it back together, right? And today, what I wanted to talk to you is how to put it together is that you have to put another integrated by design, all right? Design is not something that telcos are used to. Design is not something telcos already have as their competitive advantage. And design is something that's very, very, very needed because somebody has to do it, all right? The other industries, the hospitality industry, the building, the architectures, I also have designers. They're called architects, right? The manufacturing also have designers, industrial designers. So everybody, designed because the size of the whole industry was big. They also experienced the separation, but they put somebody inside, who would actually put it all together. So people in the development who are actually building it would be more comfortable and know where to go. And one call out also, on all of the events in the media, you can hear, oh yeah, omnichannel will solve everything. Digitization will solve everything. Guys, to tell you the truth, if we don't design it properly, if we just put boxes inside and say yes, that's it, it will not happen. You will just have a quite amount of the investment, which will actually not work for the customer at the end. So this is very, very, very important aspect of it. Good. All right. So coming back to the chef's advice, about the harmony and about the details. So with my team, we are actually bridging that over. We are integrated into every product development, into the service development, and we are working in the teams. And it's very important that somebody inside the operator takes this role because, empathy, design, and emotional considerations were not part of the DNA, on the capabilities and the list of skills when HR was actually employing everybody inside. So some change needs to be done. But I offer you two main things, how to put it. So first, let's start with the harmony. Experience is your brand, period. If it's not aligned, you have a problem, right? So you mentioned GiftGaff, Mark. So it's the same. They have it's about the brand, and the whole experience is living that brand. But the problem with the branding today is that you have your purpose, then you have your brand values and positionings, and it's all sometimes it's limited to what do you communicate, how is the proposition developed, what is your service product, and then the channels about it, and that's it. But the thing what we're doing is it's to add up a little bit more. And a little bit more is, okay, from the brand values and positionings, decide what are your branded experience vision. What do you want to achieve, all right? What do you want to achieve? Out of this, you divide into experience objectives and principles. And then I'll come back to explain everything. Then you define and design those branded experiences, and then you put it in the whole organization, all right? So it's not just communication, propositions, channels, it's everybody. It's HR, it's finance, it's network, it's your operations, it's your support, it's your technicians, it's your maintaining guys, everybody, all right? And why is this important? It's important because if this kind of structure gives employees the right to behave in a certain way, all right? It aligns everybody behind these causes, and so they are given a framework to, and the guideline how to make decisions. Because your experience and the experience we are providing, it's a sum of all of those decisions. If some product is not working or have some kind of issues, it's because somebody in the IT had to make a decision, right? So with this, you're influencing all of those decisions, everybody in the company. So to put it, this one is something like what you can do as an exercise with internally, define all of these elements and basically put it through to everybody in the company. So this is the harmony part, all right? So everybody goes in the same direction. But what about the details? And now the details are tricky. For details, it's more abstract. But this is a very simplified because, as I said, telcos are new to all of this movement. First of all, so when you're designing something, when you're putting a new service or product, there are four main elements that you have to think of. So first one is job to be done, all right? Clayton Christensen, famous new theory. I mean, it's not new, it's old, about 10, 15 years, but now it's getting media attention. It's about what is the job your customer is trying to do, right? So don't go to wishes, needs, and I don't know, preferences. This will not help you. It's actually about, what they're trying to achieve. Like you're going to a car mechanic to repair your car. You're not going there to chit-chat. You're not going there to have a nice conversation about the weather. No, you're going there to repair the car. So this is actually, if you look at it from the telco perspective, even in the contact center, which was also one of the troubles that mentioned in the survey, Croatian Telekom is a integrated operator, so it's fixed and mobile, right? And ladies and gentlemen, there is 50 reasons, 50 jobs customers are calling contact center. Not 1,000, it's only 50, all right? And basically, if we, and all of us, can't get around 50, with all the technology that we have and all the capacity that we have, we can't get around 50 reasons, then really we are not doing our job properly. So it's 50 reasons. And you have to understand these reasons and go and structure structure around them. How to get these jobs? Well, go for the internals. Ask why are you calling? If you want to know why people, put some students in front of the shop or somebody in front of the shop and saying, oh, excuse me, sir, why are you here? I'm here to pay the bill. Okay, thank you very much. Tick. This is one job. So structure around it. Cool. And if you don't know how to do it, also, well. What we're also looking at behavioral research, so not about standard marketing research, cold calls, cold calls around the country to people to say, but rather behavioral research. So we look at the customers, how they perform the job. The second part is the mental model, and the mental model and the creating appropriate concept model. What is it? This is actually the expectations that customer come with, all right? And how did you provide? How your solution matches this one. So if you want to know about mental models and designing, you go to Donald Norman. He's Psychology of Everyday Things. You just read it there. It's nicely explained there. But basically, it's like it's like the shower in your hotel room. If you have to, when you open it in the morning, you want to take a shower. You open up and you have to spend 10 minutes figuring out how the bloody thing works. Then it's not good design, right? So you have to. So you come with a mental model saying, okay, there is a cold and there is a cold and warm water, and also, you're used to how to regulate, but this is some piece of technology that you need to figure it out. Then it's not good. And then you say, oh, it's a problem with the service. So this is the design part. This is actually when the manufacturing industrial design got it figured out. Now we have to apply the same for the services, right? To get this one. Then behavioral patterns. If you have to understand whether you're introducing some new behavioral pattern for your product or you're integrating into the existing. Because habits are very hard to change. And habits need effort, and people, and if you are, I don't know, making a technology swap, changing the bill layout or something, you're changing, you're creating new habits. So you have to think about how you're impacting your customers. And of course, the fourth one, the emotions and concern. I explain you on the Dunning. I explain you how the postal company is struggling. But this is where actually you can influence and you can design for the emotions. So those four things are very, very, very important to consider. Right? Okay, how do you make it work? Right? The last one. This is all nice, abstract, great talk, Luka, but how do you make it work? First of all, where do you apply this? You apply this, well, everywhere, good. But you can apply this if you're designing something new, something innovative, right? Stepping into an unknown territory. Just ask these 4 questions, or ask yourself these 4 questions, and then you will come what you need to design, all right? But basically, it's from the innovation, but also if you're improving how the agents in your contact center are handling the calls. It's all to the details. So this is the span where you can we can do it. And also you can do it in designing some new stuff, new technology stuff, right? Because some things might not work, as you're supposed to. Functionally, they're okay. Emotionally, it's not that good. How to gain traction? Well, you have to bring it on the operational level. Trust me, when I first started working on the customer experience, I was approaching everybody in the company saying, oh, this is a customer journey, these are emotions, concerns, whoa. It's too abstract. So basically, all my meetings, I canceled them and came back 2 weeks afterwards saying, okay, we're not going to talk about the customer, emotional journey and emotional state through the clearance of the fault. No, we're going to talk about fault lifecycle. Okay, it's a fault. Oh yeah, fault. We know how to talk about fault. So basically, you have to go down, and this is something whoever is a manager of customer experience and team, you have to do that homework. Because your guys are very operational. For them, it's very hard to get to this abstract level. So if you want to make the change, you have to bring it one step down. Engage in the work, guys. It's a dirty work. You have to roll up your sleeves and dig in right into it, because you have to work with them, with the colleagues to make the change, and also to make them feel the change, right? And don't call it design, because everybody scares about it, you know. It's one thing also, you know, there's so many literature around about the behavioral economics, the psychology. Start reading, start learning, and, you know, be inspiring, because this is something that's not been taught in school, not been taught in management schools. So this is something that you had the homework that you have to do, because this, you will be the first one to propagate this kind of knowledge towards the company. And how to make it sustainable? Well, customer experience, if there is a department called customer experience department, which is not integrated into any of the process, it's waste of time and energy for everybody. It just creates friction. Nobody is taking it into account, and basically it's not working. So in Croatian Telekom, experience design and service design is integrated into product design, into the proposition launch, into technology swaps, into everything. So the team is working with the marketing jointly, you know, and designing. This was actually, my view of the thing, you know. And what's now been doing service design is catching up traction. It's getting more and more internal, and hopefully we will see more of it. And one thing, what I would like to ask you, yes, as business managers and leaders, we have the obligation to fulfill the business requirements, but also telecom is touching every aspect of the human society. So we please, you know, start integrating design as soon as possible, because we have a huge impact on the well-being of our society and our communities. Thank you.